going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Man Cave Arcade. I'm Steve V. Appreciate you guys clicking this video today, coming into my space and hanging out with me for a little while. It's greatly appreciated. Now, in today's video, I'm going to let you guys know my pickup plan for the rest of 2025. And what this pickup plan is going to consist of is some figures that I want to collect for this space. There might be an arcade cabinet that I have a little bit of interest in, so we'll definitely touch on that. There's a certain console and a game that's going to be coming out for that console that I really want to get for the space as well. So these are some of the things I'm going to talk about. So hopefully this is going to be a video you're going to enjoy. So sit down, make yourself comfortable, get a snack, get a drink, and let's start the video. Here we go. So the first thing that I'm going to touch on that I'm really excited to add to the space is more live action Batman stuff for my McFarlane collection. Now, there's already two things that I have pre-ordered, and then there's another set that's going to be coming out in the fall that I will be pre-ordering the second it's available. So the first thing that I'm going to mention that I have on pre-order is the 2022 Batmobile. That's from the Robert Pattinson movie. I've been waiting for this Batmobile for quite a while. It finally went up for pre-order last week. So I called my GameStop, which here in Canada is now back to being called EB Games. And they happen to have it available. So I put my pre-order in. I believe it's coming out sometime in September. So I'm really excited to get my hands on that. And speaking on Batmobiles, there's another Batmobile that I somewhat have pre-ordered. This one's kind of an interesting situation. So for whatever reason, McFarlanetoys decided to put the Batman v Superman / Justice League Batmobile up on their website, but it wasn't for pre-order. It was kind of a Kickstarter. And what a Kickstarter is pretty much instead of them just kind of, putting this out for a production with, already a goal in mind with how many numbers they want to make and kind of get out there to the public. This is kind of like a crowdfunding situation where they have a certain goal amount-wise that they want to reach to kind of see that this is something people want. So pretty much if you want this Batmobile, you had to put some money towards the crowdfunding or Kickstarter, whatever you want to call it. They called it something else, I can't remember. But I put my amount in. They had some different tiers that kind of offered some different stuff. I actually got the third tier, which was the Batmobile, those extra accessories, and then you also get Ben Affleck's Batman, and then it also comes with the bat signal, which I thought was kind of nice, to kind of have as an extra accessory on my display area. So August 22nd, that whole situation's going to be done. So with them getting their amount, obviously we're all going to be able to get whatever we kind of chose as our tier. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that Batmobile and the figures and accessories that I purchased with it. I just don't know what the timetable is. I think it's probably going to be closer to October. So kind of spreads things out a little bit. I'm not mad at that. So looking forward to getting that. And then another thing that they've already announced, but they don't have a date for pre-order or anything like that. They just said fall. And that is the Batman Returns figures. Now, I've been waiting for this set for quite a while. I've even made some videos where I've discussed, my hopes for them doing a Batman Returns set of figures, and my wish came true. So they're obviously doing Michael Keaton's Batman with the different kind of armor. That was kind of the only change with the suit was just kind of like the chest plate and six-pack area was a little bit different on the suit than the original suit. So they're doing that Batman. They're doing Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, Danny DeVito's Penguin, and Christopher Walken's Max Stark, I think his last name was. I'm kind of pulling a blank on the name, but I think I actually got that right. And from what I know, I don't think this is a build-a-wave. Usually when they do sets of 4, usually there's little pieces that come within each figures to kind of build something. They did show a set of 3 penguin figures, like actual penguins with the rockets from the movie. I don't know if that's part of a Build-A-Wave or if that's a whole separate figure. If that's the case, I'm not really going to purchase those 3 extra penguin figures. But if it comes with the Build-A-Wave and there's a part with each figure, then obviously I'll get it, even though I keep it in box. So I'll never build it, but I'll have the complete set. So that's something I'm looking forward to getting my hands on. So that's coming out in the fall. So that will kind of probably, complete the collection for the year. And then we'll just see kind of what McFarlane's going to do towards the end of the year as far as announcements, because they only have the DC Multiverse license till the first quarter of next year. So really hoping they do a Jack Nicholson Joker. That's kind of like number one on my wish list. Also hope they do the Bane from Batman and Robin. And I hope they do Ra's al Ghul from Batman Begins. Those are kind of my three figures that are kind of on my wish list. But other than that, I got a pretty solid set over there, and really excited to kind of bring the ones that I just mentioned to you into the Man Cave Arcade in 2025. So the next thing that I'm going to be picking up, as it's going up for pre-order next week, is the 1/10 scale Wolverine statue that McFarlane Toys is coming out with. Now, the funny thing is, I already have a 1/10 scale Wolverine statue. Now, the color scheme of the one that I have is the yellow and brown. And the first thing that kind of comes to mind when I see that Wolverine is the Wolverine from the X-Men arcade game. Now, I know that's not necessarily where it came from. It actually came from the comic with Wolverine and the Hulk, I believe. That's where I believe it came from. But as far as like where I first remember seeing it, it was from that arcade game. So I picked it up because I thought it was a cool figure. But now they're doing the traditional yellow, black, and blue suit. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, that's my Wolverine. That's the Wolverine that I know and have the most nostalgia for. So right away, I pretty much decided once this comes out for pre-order, I'll pre-order it. That will give me time to sell my old one. And then I'll just use that money to pay off the pre-order when it finally becomes available. So that is something that will definitely end up on my shelf in 2025. So a funny thing that I want to add to my collection that unfortunately is not available in Canada at the moment, but it sounds like it might be fairly soon, at least at a local shop that's here in my town. It's the 6-pack reissued Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys from 1988. Now that is the playset that came out the exact year I was born, but a lot of those turtles I ended up playing with, 2 to 3 years later, because when I went to my babysitter's, she had those toys there available. I believe they were toys that belonged to her son, and then her son outgrew them, and I got a chance to play with them. And being a big Turtle fan, because I was a huge Turtle fan in the early 90s, and still a big Turtle fan to this day, but I mean, my peak was definitely in the early 90s, and, I would go to garage sales and different, places that were selling, used toys, and I would see those turtles and pick those up. And I just have so many fond memories of the Playmates turtles. So when I seen that they were reissuing the Playmates set, and they were doing a 6-pack that had Michelangelo, Raphael, Leonardo, Donatello, Master Splinter, and Shredder, I knew I needed to have this. But like I said, it wasn't available in Canada because it's a Target exclusive. So I did my due diligence, and after talking to a few different people that I know in the customer service industry, I finally found somebody that owned a store here in town that said that it will be coming to his store, but he just didn't know when it was coming. But he told me he would let me know when it's in store. So I'm just waiting for that message now. And when he gives me that message, and hopefully he doesn't forget, I will be going to pick that up. And I'm not sure where I'm going to display it, but this is something that just has so much significance to me that I just know I need to have it. Because every time I'm going to see it down here, it's just going to bring back those fond memories that I had back in 1990, 1991, 1992. Those core years where I was a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. So another thing that I have some interest in picking up, but this one's a little bit of a maybe, and that is the WWE WrestleFest arcade cabinet that's going to be done by a company called Basic Fun. Now, I'm a huge pro wrestling fan. I mean, I've been a pro wrestling fan ever since I was 10 years old. And I mean, you would think over the years you would kind of lose interest, but I've gained interest in wrestling as the years progressed. And it's just become something that is a huge part of my life. Hence, I'm wearing a CM Punk shirt today. That's how much of a wrestling fan I am. I mean, it's part of my attire. So, with that being said, when it was announced that Basic Fun was doing a WWE WrestleFest cabinet, and it was going to have all the wrestlers that were in the actual game, and them doing something that is as close as possible to the original ROM, even though it can't be the original ROM because obviously the original ROM was WWF. It just really sparked my interest. But I number one need to see what the price is, and number two, I need to see how this cabinet really plays. I got a chance to see how it looks with, some of the leaked images that we got to see online, and just some of the images that they've put in magazines that they've done some interviews kind of talking about the product. And it looks good. It looks good, but I need to kind of see what this is about, and again, how much it's going to be here in Canada to really see if it's something that is worth investing in. I've kind of downsized my arcade collection and I'm pretty happy with what I have, but there are a few things I would be interested in adding if, the price was right. And that is that WWE WrestleFest. I'm really interested in bringing back the Turtles. I really miss having a Ninja Turtle cabinet down here, so I would be interested in bringing Turtle cabinet back here, and supposedly Basic Fun is going to be doing that down the line. I miss my NBA Jam. I've sold 3 NBA Jams, and every single time I sell them, I wish I didn't. So maybe an NBA Jam might make its way down here again at some point. But that's kind of it. I really don't want to add more than that. But, the first one out of the 3 that I mentioned that I know is coming to fruition is that WWE WrestleFest. So I'm going to see, again, how much it is, kind of, see some reviews when people start buying it and kind of testing out that cabinet, seeing, what other games are going to be on this cabinet, and really seeing if it's something that is worth me, investing money, because I'm at a different point in my life. I got 2 kids. I'm trying to put some money aside to save for their future, save for me and my wife's future. So the money that I used to have for these arcade cabinets, I don't really have that anymore. So now, in order for me to bring an arcade cabinet down here, it's gotta be something special, and it's gotta make sense. So this one has potential to make sense. I just need more info, and again, really see what the price is going to be here in Canada, because prices here lately have been a little crazy. I mean, Fast and the Furious from Arcade One Up just finally made it here in Canada, and it's like $8.49. So that kind of shows you how crazy the prices are here. Now, the last thing that I'm hoping to pick up for the Man Cave Arcade in 2025 is a console, and that is the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, I'm a big fan of my original Nintendo Switch, and I really have no complaints about that console. It kind of fills my needs, because I am a pretty casual gamer. So when I get onto that thing, it's fun to play, it's comfortable. I have a good, half an hour, 45 minutes of fun, and then kind of put it away, go on with my day. But after seeing the Nintendo Switch 2 and seeing some of the games that are coming around the corner, I feel like it's worth it enough for me to invest, because of the fact that also the Nintendo Switch 2 is backwards compatible. So I can bring all my games that I have on the Nintendo Switch and be able to play them on the Switch 2. And then I'll just pick up, some games for the Switch 2 as time goes on. And one of the main games that I really want to pick up is Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Now, I don't know when that's coming out. I know it is coming out this year, so I definitely want to get my hands on that game ASAP whenever it's out. But it does sound like it could be coming out for the Switch as well. So I might pick it up for the Switch, and then obviously when I get the Switch 2, I can just bring it over and play it there. But there are certain games that are already out for the Switch 2 that I'm interested in playing, hence why it might be just easier for me to kind of investigate in the Switch 2 now, And then down the line, when the newer games come out, I can just get them for the Switch too. Like WWE 2K25. Again, big pro wrestling fan. I haven't played a pro wrestling video game in, oh my God, a long time. I mean, a long time. So it would really be cool to kind of be able to play one of those games again, because I invested so much time back in the day on games like WWF No Mercy and some of the WrestleMania games for the GameCube. I mean, there was just so many games that I had so much fun playing. So I feel like to be able to play wrestling games on a Switch too would just be fantastic. They're also coming out with a 007 game. Being a huge fan of that character, and also knowing that this is going to be kind of a different interpretation of that character. You know, they're really going to be telling the story of how he became, you know, a 00 agent, and kind of his roots, and what kind of made him into that gruff persona that we know. Even though looking at the image of the character that they kind of created for this game, it doesn't really shout James Bond to me, but I'm willing to give it a chance because of the fact that, again, it is a James Bond game. Doesn't look like a James Bond game, but it is. So it's something that I definitely want to try. But another game that's very important to kind of get into my catalog is that new Mario Kart game. I mean, that thing looks fantastic. The second they started showing trailers for that game, you know, me, my cousins, my brother, we all thought it looked fantastic, and it's just something that looks really fun, and something I could see playing with my family, you know, my kids, my wife. If people come over, you know, have a little party playing some Mario Kart. I do have, you know, Mario Kart 8 for the Switch, but this one just looks like a pile of fun. And it just looks like you can do whatever the heck you want. And who wouldn't want to do that in a video game? So that's my pickup plan for 2025. I mean, there could be some more stuff that I'm interested in around the corner because it's only August. But as of right now, these are the things that are announced that I'm really interested in and hoping to get here in the Man Cave Arcade. I could pretty much see all of them happening. The only one that's kind of a maybe is the WWE WrestleFest. And that's just because I want to see how it plays. I want to see what games are on there. And I want to see how much it is. That's probably the most important factor. But if all that kind of, you know, checks out, that's probably going to make it down here as well. But we'll see what happens. But either way, appreciate you guys watching the video. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. It definitely helps the channel. And it's greatly appreciated anytime you guys just take time out of your day to watch any of my content. I really appreciate it. So have a great one. Take care. I'll see you guys on the next one.